Welcome back, students, for yet another grammar session. Today you will be learning all about action words or verbs which form an important part of speech in English grammar. Right from the time we get up in the morning, we perform a series of actions, don't we? All these action words are categorized as verbs. Sometimes we may also want to depict a state of being of a person or the subject in the sentence. The words used to show this also are called verbs. Therefore, we define any verb as a word or a group of words which show a state of being or an action. It is also called the doing word or an action word. The entire category of verbs is divided into main verbs and helping verbs. Let's define these two main categories. Main verbs shows the actions done by the subjects. Thus, it is an action word. In the two sentences that are given on the screen, 1. He spoke the truth. 2. The bell rang loudly. The two action words spoke and rang are the two main verbs used. The second category of verbs, that is helping verbs, are also called auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary or helping verbs tell us about a state of being or existence. They help to form the tenses, negative sentences, and even questions. Let's consider a few examples to understand this concept. 1. Rita is singing in the concert today. In this sentence, is singing is considered to be the verb. This verb is a combination of a helping verb is, which indicates that the action is happening in the present, and a main verb, singing. 2. Sumit does not write neatly. In the second sentence, the use of the word not makes it a negative sentence. However, the verbs does write has been used where does indicates present tense and is the helping verb, whereas write is the main verb. 3. Where are you going? The third example we have is a question which is also called an interrogative sentence. As you will be able to spot, the verbs in this sentence is are going, where are is the auxiliary or helping verb and going is the main verb. Now that you have understood this concept, let's understand a little more about auxiliary verbs. Helping verbs are further divided into two categories: primary and modal auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries are verbs that can be used as a main verb and as a helping verb in sentences. These auxiliaries come under forms of be, do, have. Under be form, we have verbs like am, is, are, was, were, will, shall. Under the do category, we have do, does, did. Lastly, we have verbs like has, have, had under the category of have. For example, he is a kind person. He is typing an email. In the first sentence, the primary auxiliary is appears as the main verb, whereas in the second sentence, is the helping verb and typing is the main verb. On the other hand, modal auxiliaries like will, would, shall, should, must, can, may, might, dare to, ought to, etc. can function only as the helping verb or using verbs. It does not change its form according to the person or number or the subject. Let's consider the given sentences. For example, we must wear uniform to school. You can do it. Verbs like must and can are modal auxiliaries, whereas the main verbs are wear and do. There are few other verbs which are used to describe a state or condition. For example, smell, taste, keep, know, think, believe, appear, look, etc. Now that you have understood the concept of primary and modal auxiliaries, you can solve the exercises related to these concepts. Students, now that we have defined a verb or an action word and also seen its kinds, in this session, you will be learning about another category of verbs, that is transitive and intransitive verbs. Let's understand the concept of a transitive verb with an example. The students are reading their lesson. In this sentence, the students is the subject, are reading is the action word, therefore the verb. What are the students reading? The answer to this question is their lesson. In this sentence, their lesson becomes the object as it answers the question, what? The verb are studying, which takes an object, their lessons, to make a sensible sentence will be called a transitive verb. The action passes from the doer, means subject, to the receiver, means object. Let's take another example. Rima wrote a letter. Rima is the subject. Wrote is the verb. A letter is the object. What did Rima write? A letter. Therefore, the verb wrote carries a direct object and is a transitive verb. On the other hand, a verb which does not take an object and yet makes a sensible sentence is called an intransitive verb. This means that there won't be any direct object present after the verb. For example, in this sentence, birds fly. Birds is the subject and fly is the verb. However, there is no object after the verb fly. The sentence still makes sense and is complete. As the verb fly does not carry an object, the verb is an intransitive verb. Intransitive verbs need the help of another word or phrase to convey a meaning. Let's consider this set of sentences. The baby was sleeping. The baby is the subject in the sentence and was sleeping is the verb. The verb does not carry any object and therefore becomes an intransitive verb. A transitive verb carries an object, whereas an intransitive verb does not carry an object. You will now be able to easily identify the transitive and intransitive verbs while solving exercises. Let's understand and learn the different forms in which any verb can appear in sentences. There are 4 main forms of verbs in English grammar that we'll be learning about. These 4 forms are present, present participle, past, past participle. The present tense form of the verb is also called the base form or root form. The verb appears in its original form. For example, buy, begin, do, etc. The present participle form of the verb is where an ing is added after the verb. Thus, the present participle form will be a verb plus ing form. For example, the present participle forms for the same verbs will be buying, beginning, doing, etc. Next, we will learn about the third form, that is past tense form. This simply means the verb given in its base form must be written in past tense. For example, bought, began, did, etc. Lastly, let's learn about past participles. The past participle form of the verb is any verb ending with the letters ed or e or ne or t or n. The past participle forms would therefore be bought, ending in t, begun, ending in n, done, ending in ne. By looking at the 4 columns on the table very carefully, you will be able to understand how any verb can appear in either of the 4 forms. You can solve the exercises related to these concepts.